you're ready. This is going to be exciting.
And the Geico restarts up to go. Green flag is out and we're underway.
Just a few laps into this. Oh, the 37's getting loose. Oh, and he saves it. Oh, they're going 3 wide.
We've got a 5-way fight for the win of this race coming to 4 laps to go. He's gonna win it here in spectacular fashion.
With one last race before our mid-season break, the Lincoln Tech Fall Series caps off another stellar week of racing with the Invets Xfinity Series right here, right now, on V-Speed. And of course, we have to thank our sponsors responsible for putting together the show for you tonight. Invets, building strong futures for Indiana veterans. Lincoln Tech, put your potential to work. And Save 22, struggling? Let's talk. For everyone here at V-Speed, I'm Jacob Lenke. Here alongside me is Ken Huber. We've got Eddie Smith in the production booth and the talented Dougie Beard providing tonight's cameras.
Well, it's an absolute honor working again with you tonight there, Jacob. Looking forward to this night race that we have here at Charlotte. It should be a lot of fun. We've had 3 different winners in 6 races. We're almost to the halfway point in the season, so no surprise that these guys at Goat Locker Racing have been putting on a show all season long.
Yes, sir. And speaking of, let's take a look at the track we have here tonight for you. June of 1960 marked the first sanctioned event for the Charlotte Motor Speedway, a 1.5-mile quad oval nestled in Concord, North Carolina, and its 600-mile race has been circled on the NASCAR calendar ever since. We've run here in almost every series Goat Locker has to offer, and it never fails to put on a show.
And I think that's what we're going to see here tonight. We got 100 laps of hard racing here at Charlotte. It should be a lot of fun. So as these guys are getting their qualifying laps in, I went out there and tested earlier this afternoon at this track, and the setup feels pretty decent. I didn't go on a long run, so I imagine it's going to tighten up, but these guys are struggling with a little bit of aero loose off, and the corner entry actually feels really good, and I expect that high lane to kind of work in as the night progresses.
Yep, we saw some one-on-one battles throughout practice. A lot of people trying to push the issue, push their exits out of turn 4 especially, was where I saw a majority of our drivers start to lose it a little bit, having to catch it. As we're taking a look at the driver cams, George Jules gone invisible for the time being. We got Chuck Pegleg Feltz, Samuel Yosef, Mark Whitley, Wyatt Dooling, and Frederick Seagraves, our Talladega winner, all represented with some FaceTime this week.
Yeah, that's going to be entertaining. Watch these guys go around the track in their virtual race cars tonight. We had some good onboard footage last week. We raced at Watkins Glen, and we even had a foot cam. But since we're back to oval racing, thankfully we're not seeing the foot cam tonight.
Yep, everybody should know what the pedals are by now. Just gas and go from here on out.
Well, let's talk about what these guys are going to deal with tonight for our race analysis here. So they're looking at 100 laps here tonight at Charlotte with a pit road speed of 45 miles an hour. So getting off that racetrack and getting loaded up to 45 miles ought to be quite entertaining if we do indeed have green flag stops. They'll have 4 sets of tires available to them, 2 green-white checkered attempts, 100% fuel with an iRacing fixed setup. So all these guys are running around with the same setup, so they'll have to use their driver skills to get around each other tonight as we're watching qualifying commence.
Yes, sir. We are hopped onto the 51 of Wyatt Dooling, who is making his first lap here. I'm gonna
Yeah, he's
watch
dueling for
along.
position out there right now, Jacob. So we'll see how he does. We still got about a minute and a half in qualifying, but these guys, he's getting around the track really cleanly. We watched a lot of incidents in practice, and you'd mentioned it too, Jacob, that you thought that the cars were a little loose, but those guys were driving really hard, I think, trying to get their fastest laps in, and that's what we're witnessing right now.
Yeah, very curious to see how they're going to function in traffic as we're watching him come around for his second flying lap, sitting in 23rd at the moment. Doesn't make contact with the wall. This will count. Comes across the line, and it does not look... Oh, nope. He puts himself P10. Provisional P10 right now.
So, yeah, not bad. We still got a few cars out there waiting to qualify. I see a few guys out on the track. So we're looking at George Jewell, his onboard camera there as he goes around through 1 and 2 here at Charlotte down the back stretch and see what kind of lap time he can get out of this machine.
Yes, sir. This is a new paint scheme for George Jewell this week. He's got the Pure Michigan, the tourism commercials that you see if you're living in the Midwest like I am. He's got all 5 of the Great Lakes on the hood there with the mitten dead center, so he's representing Michigan. I myself just recently moved into Michigan, so I can call myself a Michigander as well.
Yeah, where'd you move from there, Jacob? So Michigan's a beautiful place, so looks like he's completed his lap. I don't actually see that he scored a time. So George Jewell, I don't know if he had some wall contact, but I don't see a time there.
He might have scrubbed and is trying to... Nope, he's not going to get out there in time, so he's not going to have a lap logged for the start here, as we have run out of time in qualifying. But someone that has put down a time and has claimed our Jam Printing and Promotions Pole Award is the number 53 of Jonathan Cofield. He's got 2 wins, looking to log another one. Second place is going to be Joseph McWhorter starting on his outside. That's a points battle right there. Third place is going to be Craig Bontrager. P4 is Duncan Faw. The 26th of Logan Sturgeon will round out the top 5. Mark Whitley starting in P6. Brandon Wallace in the 99 puts himself P7 with Chad Ashley in the 54 in the 8th position. Tyler Rice in the 06 and Judson Curtis in the 29 round out your starting top 10.
In row 6, we got Brock Price starting in 11th, and on his outside, he'll have Wyatt Dooling. And Jamie Lipke will start in 13th with Eldon Stewart out on her outside. Wesley Burke will start in the 15th position with Chuck Feltz starting in 16th. Kyle Deering will start in the 17th position. Aaron Yancey will start on his outside in 18th. In the 19th position will be Stephen Davis with Daniel Parks on his outside in 20th.
Skylar Daly rolls off 21st with Barrett Morton in the 9 rolling off 22nd. Casey Jones in the 34 starting to the outside is Frederick Seagraves Jr. in 24th. Devontae Drain starts 25th. Darren Price in 26th. Dakota Cole rounds out 27th. Colton Sisk in 28th. Kevin Price and Dave Calvert taking up the 15th row of competition here.
So pretty exciting setup that we have here. We still have a few guys that I haven't called out. So we got Nick Hagan out there starting in 31st with Claire Sisk on the outside. And then we have Scott Yancey starting in 33rd with Jeremy Gardner starting on the outside there in 34th. In 35th will be George Jewell, and on his outside will be Sean Warrup. And Samuel Yosef will start in 37th with Gary Wright in the 38th. Last qualifying position. Whew, I almost messed that up. I almost forgot the last 10 there, so I apologize to the guys out there. But hey, you know what, Jacob? It's going to be pretty awesome here. We have on the starting row, we have Jonathan Cofield, who's won 2 races that you mentioned. Also McWhorter, he's also won 2 races this season. So both these guys have 2 wins under their belt. So one of them is looking to three-peat maybe this race. But we might have some guys starting towards the rear. Maybe tire strategy is going to be, or tire management is going to be a key strategy here tonight.
Yep, I would say that it's probably going to be ball in Jonathan Cofield's court because he has won. He won at 2 of our previous ovals. McWhorter dominated Watkins Glen last week, so need to take a look and
Cofield
do a little
won
bit of the number crunching here.
Yeah, Cofield won at California in race 2, and then he won in race 3 at Darlington. Tracks are, I mean, it's an oval track, so they're not too dissimilar to Charlotte, but McWhorter's got Milwaukee and the Glen, so they're actually this is the first time we're really at a true NASCAR 1.5 mile track, so classic historic Charlotte tonight.
Yes, sir. Always puts on a show. Field coming through turns 3 and 4 right now. Pace car as lights are off and we're getting ready to go green.
And we'll see that pace car go into pit lane as we're green right now. So already started. Jonathan Cofield leading them to the line. McWhorter on his outside, side by side as they go into turn 1. Field still side by side all the way through the tri-oval and into 1.
Got a little bit of separation going on in the mid-pack as we got a battle for the lead between Joseph McWhorter taking the outside on Jonathan Cofield. Clears him. Whitley scrubs the wall further back behind.
Yeah, you can see that McWhorter was able to grab the lead away from Cofield, and we'll see the field start they're side by side just behind them. You've got Craig Bontrager in the 49 and Duncan Fall in the 61. They were side by side as they come across the line.
Yep, Duncan Foss still to the outside of the 77 as everybody starts to get it a little bit further. Single file here. 77 lining up. He's got a little bit of a bobble that's going to allow the 61 to get past, and everybody lines up from the top 5 on back.
Yeah, close call for that 77. Mark Whitley got really loose there coming out of that corner. Not sure if there was a little bit of contact there or not, but it was able to save that car, and now he's going to have to gear up and try another attempt, but he's going to be under pressure just behind him. He's got Logan Sturgeon looking to take that position away from the 77.
77 under fire from Logan Sturgeon, and just further back we got Chad Ashley and Judson Curtis fighting for that 7th spot. 54 rounding around the outside, but the 29 is going to hold it to the inside just to keep the position.
Side by side as they go down the backstretch, we'll see who has the lead coming out. 54 currently the outside line. I do expect this to come in if it hasn't come in already, but later in the race. So you can see that the 54 is holding strong on the outside. Can't quite get to the line first, and he's going to have to fall back in line, and he does tuck back behind the car in front of him.
Yep, and I think early on the advantage is going to be that inside line because everybody's going to want to push that outside line, try and keep the momentum into the corners, but it's just going to push a little too hard and may end up clapping that wall on exit.
Yeah, we're looking at the 49 right now, Bontrager. So Bontrager back in line right now, following these guys. We're almost single file. We got a battle just a little bit further back. And it looks like they've got that battle sorted out. I want to say that was Judson Curtis in the 29 was under fire from somebody back there, but it's shaken out.
Yep, the 54 has dropped off a little bit, no longer fighting with Judson Curtis. Taking another look at the leaders, we got a little bit of a 4-car breakaway. We're just under a second up ahead of these guys right here. Joseph McWhorter in first, Jonathan Cofield P2, Craig Bontrager P3, Duncan Faw in P4.
Yeah, Duncan Faw kind of was taking a peek there on the inside of that blue 49 of Bontrager just ahead of him. Kind of backed off as they go into 1, but Duncan Faw looking really strong, at least in the opening laps right now. Kind of tucked in behind as they go down the backstretch. We'll see if he takes another look, but right now he seems to be content maybe managing those tires.
You see Faw running he's running the lowest out of the guys in front of him right now and is trying to keep that line consistent, roll the bottom, make his exits good, and he's keeping a decent distance to the 49 of Craig Bontrager.
So the expected pit strategy is probably about 55 laps I think these guys can make on a full tank of fuel. With 100 laps, if we stay green, that means it's only 1 pit stop. Probably unlikely that it's going to stay green, but I like the way these guys are racing here tonight. So far, it does have that green flag look to it.
Yep, everybody wanting nothing more than a green race here tonight. One stop should do it, as you said, going towards the just over the halfway point for the 55 laps to the 100. As Joseph McWhorter's starting to get a few car lengths up on Jonathan Cofield.
Yeah, you can see those gaps start to open up a little bit. Duncan Faw still holding tight on the back of Craig Bontrager there. And you can see that as we're looking at McWhorter, but the battle for fourth with Duncan Faw back there, keeping it really tucked in behind Bontrager there, seeing if he can sense any weakness there ahead of him and try to get by him and battle for a podium spot up there.
You know he's going to pounce as soon as he sees the move, because once the problem goes away, it's going to be a while before somebody tries to or before somebody makes another one, because they'll know not to make it again.
Yeah, I do like the way that 61 is racing right now. Very purposeful, very meticulous, trying to find a way around Bontrager right now, but not really forcing the issue. He knows that if he gets in a side-by-side battle here, I think he's just going to scrub off a lot of that Goodyear on those tires, and he's just waiting for the right opening to kind of squeeze around him without wearing out too much tire, so he has something at the end. And on the second-place guy, Jonathan Cofield just tagged the wall. So we didn't see it. We had the cameras on Faw, but on the exit there of two, excuse me. Yeah, Cofield nailed that wall, but I think that car is okay. I think it was just lots of sparks coming off, but I don't see any real fender damage.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's hurting him none. Barrett Morton is he has moved himself up to P13. He is currently our biggest mover, starting in 22nd, up 9 spots, and currently challenging the 0-4 for position. That's Wesley Bird.
Yeah, having a solid run tonight, running up that fast. You got to wonder how much tire he is using, but solid run there for Barrett Morton as he's looking at the back of Wesley Burke. Wesley Burke now looking at Chad Ashley, trying to get underneath him. So yeah, it looks like Chad Ashley is under fire as Wesley Burke is going to go by on the inside, has the advantage going into one, and it looks like he's going to clear Wesley.
Yep, going to probably lose 2 for 1 unless Ashley makes a better run on the backstretch here, because Morton's now to the inside of him. He's going to dive down to the inside and try and get that position before we exit turn 3.
Yeah, and Morton does clear him, so move those two guys up another position. Boy, words are hard tonight. So watching Barrett Morton run up the field, another position gain.
So that's 10 now as we see another quick close brush with the wall. Doesn't look like anybody's out of place, but oh, that 0-4 moving all the way down below the white line there. That's a very narrow line for you to be taking through the corner, trying to get as much out of that turn as he can.
Heck of a battle going on for 8th, which I think is just cleaned up right now. We had Brandon Wallace and Eldon Stewart going at it, but that battle has cleaned itself up. Actually, I believe that was Tyler Rice, excuse me, as we're looking at the battle for the lead.
Yep, Cofield is close up to the back bumper of the 72. McWhorter, the rest of the field about 7/10 back, further back. Cofield taking a little bit higher line up in the corner, carries a little more of that momentum, trying to get to the back bumper once again so you can try and make that move.
Yeah, our race winners going 1-2 right now. Trying to get the job done here at Charlotte. And like I said, nice, clean run so far. We're 15 laps already, and we're clicking the laps off really quickly here. You can see Cofield there, now that he's got back to the back of McWhorter. That's our pole sitter, Cofield, and probably wants to get back by McWhorter soon.
Yep, he knows how to get around this track, as does the 72 with Joseph McWhorter. Both of these guys, super fierce competitors and wanting to push the best out of each other they can.
Battle for 5th, side by side. Got Mark Whitley and looks like Duncan Faw back there battling out. Duncan Faw in the 61 is going to probably lose this position as Whitley squeezes off in front of him. Going to try the undercut here down the backstretch. Go back underneath as they go into 3. Duncan Faw challenging back for that position against Whitley. He is got a little bit of advantage, but no, that outside is coming in. Whitley's going to throttle up, come down on the outside. He has a momentum advantage as they go into 1.
Yep, looks like the 77 is going to clear him completely. As you were remarking earlier, the 61 did take that high line through 1 and 2, carried the momentum, and then just tried to switch it back. Nothing doing. 77 P4.
Yeah, now Whitley's going to set his sights on Craig Bontrager, who's currently running in third. So Craig Bontrager having a solid night there in that 49 car, but he's going to start seeing probably Mark Whitley creep up in his mirror momentarily as the battle for the lead is really starting to heat up.
Yep, P1 and 2 having broken out by a second as Cofield catches the grass, takes a top line into 1 and 2. He's going to ride it all the way up to the wall. He's going to try and take the top line up over across the 72, dives down, switches it back. He's going to have the inside line for the entrance of 3.
Almost what we saw from the battle for fourth there, almost the same thing. You can see Cofield out there trying to get this position, trying to get the undercut there. You see that black and pink car down on the inside of Cofield, trying to get this position back away from McWhorter. And this is what these guys probably don't want to do, is spend too much time side by side. Cofield's got a little bit of advantage here, and you can see McWhorter lets out of it and will tuck in behind.
Yep, he might try and go back and regroup from that one as what the heck happened? Why did he just suddenly get all the way up to the top there? So McWhorter is going to tag up with Cofield. They're still stepping away about a second ahead of Bontrager in third. As we're definitely going to see these two going at it here in a few laps.
Yeah, I think that top line is, like I said, I thought it would come in tonight, but I think what these guys are experiencing with tire heat and whatnot is they get one good run on that top line, and it might not be where they want to stay, but they can get a pass made up high and then get back down in the racing groove and get those tires cooled back down.
Yep, as we see Cofield starting to step out a little bit, we jump back to another battle here further back. This is the battle for the 11th spot. This is the 99 of Brandon Wallace, Barrett Morton in this one as well with Stephen Davis. P11 up for grabs. Barrett Morton gets around the 99 and is starting to chase down that black and green machine.
Yep, Barrett Morton, we talked about him earlier, up 10 spots on the night so far. He's in that 9, that white and green Camaro there. You can see Brandon Wallace just behind him. He just passed. Got Stephen Davis just ahead of him, and Stephen Davis dropping down a little bit. Might have got that interstate machine a little loose on exit there, and that's why he dropped down low. But he's going to be under threat as Barrett Morton is starting to reel him in.
Yep, 09 taking a lower line there than the 9 did. 9 still trying to reel him back in as we got another battle for position up here. That's the 8th position up for grabs right now. That's Tyler Rice looking to the inside of Eldon Stewart in the 4.
Ooh, and I thought they were going to get together there. Eldon Stewart was able to hang on to it, but I thought Tyler Rice was going to get into the rear corner. Somehow didn't do it. Going to make another attempt here, but these two guys are starting to feel each other out, see who's got the speed here, but it looks like Tyler Rice wants that position away from Eldon Stewart at the moment.
Eldon Stewart made contact with the wall out of turn 4, and now we got a third player in this one. Wesley Burke dives to the inside, takes the position of the 06. 06 is going to have a run onto the backstretch. We're going to see if he's going to... Oh, he makes heavy contact with the wall.
Whoa, we got that Valvoline machine all settled out, but that was a big mistake for that car. So he's going to drift back a few positions. What a tough break there, but he'll have to gather that car back up and run it back up there.
Yep, he's under attack by the 09 of Stephen Davis right now. Tyler Rice looks like he might have gotten some serious damage on that machine.
Yeah, we'll see if he drifts back. Oh, we got a spinner down. Skylar Daly down on the infield. No caution as of yet. Hopefully he can get that car back up to speed before the yellow comes out. But something happened with Skylar. We'll go back and take a look, see what happened.
Yeah, watching Skylar Daly, entrance of turn 3. He's in a battle with the 54. That's the 69 right there. He just drifts up the track, tries to get to the front of the 54, and it looks like he was just slowed up just enough to where the 54 moved him off his nose.
Yeah, I don't know how the caution, he obviously collected another car there. I don't know how the caution didn't come out there, but we're still under green as we're looking at another battle here on the track.
Yep, the 22 just getting lapped right there. Wesley Burke making a move to the inside of Eldon Stewart, taking that low line. Stewart trying to run the middle up there. Speed differential not going to play a factor here as the 04 takes a position.
Yeah, the 2-4 cars, the 04 and the 4 car. Wesley Burke and Eldon Stewart. Wow, just behind him there, it looks like Stephen Davis having another moment. So Stephen Davis is down on the inside right now of that other car, the Valvoline, the 06 of Tyler Rice. So Tyler Rice is the one that's struggling a little bit. trying to keep that car off the walls. Still feeling all kinds of pressure there of that 9 machine of Barrett Morton behind him.
Yep, Rice trying to make the most out of this run after losing the spots that he has so far. Trying to get back up to the back end of the 09 machine. Wesley Burke on a tear moving up through the midfield.
Yeah, it's great watching these guys tough racing at right now. We're watching them come back up down on the inside of that 4 car of Eldon Stewart. So Eldon Stewart under threat, 09, Stephen Davis trying to get this position made as they go onto the front stretch. Oh, he has to whoa up there to keep from getting into him. The car wanted to push up into Eldon Stewart, but he let out a throttle and kept those 2 guys safe.
Yep, this one's not done yet as we see Stewart take the middle through the corner. Stephen Davis looking to the inside. They maybe almost make contact there. The zero. I can't even count anymore.
You couldn't put a piece of paper between those 2 guys. So, oh man, that was some close racing. He was really tight there, Eldon Stewart. And you see Eldon Stewart just clipped the wall, and that's going to allow that car, Stephen Davis, to get by. Now Barrett Morton's going by on the inside as they go into 1.
Yeah, Barrett Morton looking to get a 3-for-1 special right here as he does not end up clearing Eldon Stewart. Drops back, lets the 4 keep the position, and now he's going to lose it back to Tyler Rice, back to square 1.
Yeah, and Barrett Morton slipping back, like you said, to Tyler Rice, but he's going to come back down on the inside. So Tyler Rice has stricken the wall a couple of times. He's running the outside mostly, but there he goes again, just clips that wall. So all over, just wearing out the wall.
Exit of turn 4 once again proves to be a little bit of a challenge as we see the 04 Wesley Burke step out. Stephen Davis stepping away from these 3 as we got a 3-way fight for the 10th spot.
Yeah, and there you go. So Eldon Stewart under pressure right now. You got Stephen Davis going by on the outside as they go into 3. Who has the advantage? I don't know. That outside line is starting to come in, and I think that the exit speed will be the key here for Tyler Rice.
Yep, Tyler Rice pulling the 9 along with him as we got another battle further up the track. Craig Bontrager under attack by the 77 of Mark Whitley, gets loose on the exit of 2. He's got the outside lane into the corner. Bontrager dives into the inside as they're trying to fight through the lap car that is Frederick Seagraves Jr. And the 77 is going to have the outside position for the exit of the corner.
Yeah, this is some interesting racing right now. Got that lap car, and that lap car seems to be using all the track right now as those 2 guys are side by side. Seagraves up there, a lap car. It doesn't look like he knows what lane he wants to be in, but right now he's just ahead of Bontrager, and it looks like he's going to stay on that low side and hold up Bontrager, and that 77 is going to get by on the outside.
I was going to say, if he kept blocking like he was throughout the first few corners there, I wouldn't be surprised if one of these 2 were going to move him, but he decides to make the right decision, in my opinion. Seagraves drops back, lets these 2 start to fight it out. P3 for the 77.
And speaking of Seagraves, a car that just went a lap down, he was our season opener race winner at Talladega. So he does have a race winner on the season, but as you can see now, he's going a lap down early tonight.
Active U.S. Army. He's been featured in a few of the series that we've run here, but none more than when he won that race to open the Xfinity series at Talladega. He has been consistent through a lot of the races that we've run. He's shown up. That's the most important part, which is you keep showing up, the win's going to count, but he's learning is the biggest thing. Like up here with these guys, I think that would be a good argument to run with Bontrager and Whitley there, is you're still learning. If you're running around these guys, you know what to do, where to go around, or where to put yourself so that these guys can fight their way around you.
Yeah, and I think he might have been involved in that early incident that we seen down in the infield, and that's why he is as far off, because he seems like that car has good speed as we ride along with Daniel Parks getting around this racetrack. See Daniel Park working that wheel there, a little bit of vibration as it goes through the tri-oval here. As the tires wear, the car will get a little slippery as they go through, but we're 35 laps into this, so there should be some tire wear, so they're going to have to be more cautious as they're going through the tri-oval.
Daniel Parks fighting with the Marine machine. That's the 75 of Chuck Phelps just ahead in P15. He's got Kyle Deering behind him, making this a 3-way fight. So we see a car peel down to go into the pit lane. That was Brandon Wallace. We might start seeing some pit stops.
Yeah, Barrett Morton on pit lane as well. So a couple of guys on pit lane right now. So already pit cycle has started, but that's way early. So I'm wondering if those guys are going in to get maybe some damage. But really surprised with I can't even think right now who just went into the pits.
I'm thinking what we're seeing right now is we might get some alternate strategies. So the 2-stop. Maybe hoping for a caution toward the middle here once everybody starts trying to frantically get to pit road. Just roll their dice where they can and take care of what they have in control.
Barrett Morton, as we're watching a battle here on the track, Barrett Morton is who I was thinking of that headed to pit lane. He was moving his way up to the field, one of our strong, hard chargers of the night. So that's what I was surprised about, seeing him on pit lane this early. But like you said, it might be all a strategy call as we're watching these 3 guys duke it out, Davis, Burke, and Faw. Faw in the middle of this battle. You can see that 4-car going underneath just ahead of him there. It's a 0-4 trying to get that position taken away. It looks like Eldon Stewart working on Tyler Rice there just ahead of Wesley Burke.
Yep. Wesley Burke trying to push on Logan Sturgeon. Burke has been on a tear since the start of this race. Logan trying to get back to the back bumper of him, but nothing doing. Started 15th. He's pushed his way all the way up to 6th. We've seen him show speed in previous races, but I don't think we've seen something to this degree. He's hard charging, trying to get back up to these leaders.
Yeah, he did make that position, and I apologize there, Wesley Burke. I get the 2 4 cars mixed up. We got the 0-4 and the 4 out there. And I was misspeaking there, but Wesley Burke showing some speed out there, currently running in 6th, like you said, after his 15th starting position, trying to run down Justin Curtis at the moment.
Yeah, meanwhile, someone in the opposite direction, Chad Ashley, having made their pit stop. We saw them go around Daniel Parks in the 71 trying to fight the 75 at Chuck Feltz, and they've got some traffic in between there. Wyatt dueling to the outside of the 75 as Barrett Morton's trying to fight their way through on the fresh tires.
Yeah, now Barrett Morton is the guy I talked about that went into pit lane early. You can see the speed discrepancy. Barrett Morton on fresh tires. All these cars are on older tires, and he's trying to fight his way through, trying to get back on the lead lap in case a caution does come out. So Barrett Morton, you can see the speed difference right there, what those fresh tires do. But, you know, if we're going to see a caution, with a few guys being on pit lane already, we've got about 10 drivers that did make pit stops. So there's going to be some guys that are going out there super fast with a lot of guys going a lot slower, and the closing speeds are going to be intense.
Got another fight right here. That is Tyler Rice. Eldon Stewart makes another heavy contact with the outside wall. That is Claire Sisk sitting back, waiting in the wings to see if they can make a move for the position there. Barrett Morton also coming up to this group on the fresh tires.
Yeah, Barrett Morton is going to probably shake up this group. He's looking right now at the back of that 4-car, Eldon Stewart, and then he's going to get by both these guys fairly easy on those fresh tires as he goes by Eldon Stewart and the 6 of Tyler Rice. Oh, we got a...
Whoa! That's Colton Sisk in the 18, almost making contact with this group of cars. Caution is out. I am surprised more people weren't involved in that.
We both jumped on that. Holy crap. I just seen that out of the corner of the screen there, and I thought that was going to be big.
Watching the 18 of Colton Sisk go through 1 and 2 here. It looks like he just loses it in the middle of the corner, tags the wall hard. Might have made contact with the 9 of Barrett Morton, but outside of that, everybody avoids.
As we ride on board this car, Barrett Morton's behind him, so somehow Barrett Morton missed this. And he was one of our early pit stops, our lead guy out there. As he creams the wall there and just about tolls that car. I think Barrett Morton got by cleanly. The problem Barrett Morton's got right now is, well, he's probably going to get the lucky dog. I think he's the first guy a lap down. I'm just checking. He is. Oh, no.
He is not. That will go. No. That honor will go to Frederick Seagraves Jr.
So that's the gamble you take by coming into the pits early and hoping it stays green as everybody's on pit lane.
Another angle of this one. The 54 of Chad Ashley running for position with the guys here. Sees the car hit, he truly has nowhere to go, because if he straightens the wheel out, he's going up into the cars above him. If he puts more foot into it to try and brake, he's going around himself. That is a lucky break for the 54.
Absolutely. Well, everybody's on pit lane. McWhorter, Cofield. Oh, it looks like Cofield beat him to the line. I believe Cofield got it. Yes, he did. And you can see it give the position. Everybody runs back off pit lane.
Yeah, Mark Whitley rolls off in third. Craig Bontrager in fourth. Judson Curtis, 29 in fifth. Wesley Burke being marked sixth. Duncan Fawn, seventh. Logan Sturgeon in P8. Stephen Davis in ninth. And Tyler Rice in the 10th position.
Well, you want to know what I want to do at this point. So we do have our first caution. I want to talk about our Warrior Spotlight. We have a new SimRig recipient, the 12th of the season. Here's to our latest Warrior Spotlight and the 12th Sim recipient, John Lawless. John served in the United States Air Force for 22 years as a hydraulic mechanic. He completed 5 deployments to Korea, 2 in Iraq. He went to Sicily and Turkey. He worked on multiple platforms such as the U-2, the H-60, the C-130. We are proud to have him as a member of the Goat Locker Racing family. Congratulations there, John.
Yes, sir. We've been seeing him in the chats, and he's been on track in a few of the different series that we've run, and it's very good to see the SimRig recipients. And another SimRig recipient that we can talk about that's in this race right now would be Nick Hagan. Didn't get off to a good start here, but he is running, he is learning, and he is putting as much work into this to try and learn and get up with these guys as he needs to. Keep it up.
Yeah, so here at Goat Locker on this coming Wednesday night, we have a fundraiser, and that's going to be in the ARCA car. And there it is on your screen. That's going to be in the ARCA car at Las Vegas on Wednesday night. There is a fee, and this helps support Goat Locker Racing. As you guys know, it costs a lot of money. You know, we give out the sim rigs. It costs a lot of money to operate Goat Locker Racing, and we do this all for our first responders and our veterans. And if you want to join, if you want to compete in the fundraising race, you reach out to Jamie Barkus, send him a DM if you want to race, and you can also go to the website and you can donate. We're up to 73% of the goal. We have a $4,000 goal that we're trying to reach, and I believe I'm just looking at the stats right now. We're up to 76%, so we're getting there, and we have about 3 days left to get our entries in for that fundraiser, and it should be exciting because I know that like Eddie Smith has got a lot of things planned for the broadcast. It is going to be a broadcast race, and that is our off week. So Goat Locker will be off the entire week as we're getting ready to go green. We're green.
Qualifying races Monday, Tuesday, main event on Wednesday, restart right now as Jonathan Cofield gets out to the front. Mark Whitley makes a move on second. Oh, we got wrecked. I think that might have been the 69 of Jeremy Gardner hitting the inside wall there. We got Claire Sisk slow down the pit lane.
Nice. The 69 in trouble. Oh, no. So we're looking at the car right now, trying to get back up to speed. We're still green, and so, yeah, he's going to tow that to pit lane. So tough break for the 69. So
what is happening here?
So everybody's trying to get up to speed here. Oh, and it looks like Gardner just makes contact with the car on the outside there. And that 69 does a header into the wall.
Now Scotty Yancey in the 03. Mark Whitley makes a move for the lead as Jonathan Cofield dropped 2 spots and is under fire for third.
Well, that was about the best start ever. So I kept talking, and we missed all the lead changes. But Whitley up front, McWhorter behind him, and then Cofield now running in third. But Cofield, I think that's his strategy, just save those tires. I think we'll see Cofield back up front.
Yeah, we're saying the replay of what happened on this pass for the lead. Whitley goes top, McWhorter goes bottom. Nowhere for Cofield to block without compromising the other line. Drops back, and he is riding high in third.
Yeah, what a move. So right now, Whitley is stretching the lead out, but I got to wonder if that's going to be hard on the tires. They're just over the halfway point, or just to the halfway point, I should say. And you can see everybody pretty much single file behind Whitley, but Whitley has opened up about a half-second lead. A little more than that.
Yep, Craig Bontrager has been pushing like a madman since the start of this race. He's lost a position to Judson Curtis and made some slight contact with the wall on exit of turn 4 as he's got Duncan Faw all up on his back bumper trying to get that position from him.
Yeah, Duncan Fall wearing out the back of Bontrager right there. Gonna fall back just a little bit, maybe make another attempt as they go through 1 and 2. Bontrager super strong tonight though, so you know Faw's got his work cut out for him. Bontrager was bent in the top 5 all night.
Bontrager, looks like Faw tried to make another move to run on him, but actually makes contact with the back bumper of the 49, trying to get some pressure in there, get some, like trying to rattle his cage a little bit as we see some more wall contact further up.
Yeah, that's a true almost push to pass right there. You know, the India car's got a push to pass, so does NASCAR, and it's called the front bumper. So that almost looked like what Duncan Faw was about to do, was trying to do that push to pass, but I think he just tucked up on there. I don't think he was trying to move him out of the way, but he definitely wants that position as those two guys have separated out a little bit.
Yeah, Faw jumping up to the middle line, tucking back in behind the 49 as we got Stephen Davis starting to join this party again as 49 makes contact with the wall again. Faw going to the outside, Stephen Davis going to try and capitalize further up.
And again, this is where that outside line will pay off for a lap or two if you can get the position made, but it doesn't look like Faw has got the speed right now. That's going to allow Bontrager to slip up in front of him and maintain that position even after slapping the wall.
Everybody holding line, holding single file throughout the rest of this field as well. Stephen Davis, we're riding on board with Stephen Davis right now, watching the 61 of Duncan Faw's back bumper as he tries to make a move on the 49 of Craig Bontrager.
Yeah, and you got the 29 of Justin Curtis currently running in 4th, started in 10th. So Justin Curtis trying to hold off Bontrager right at the moment. Bontrager was all over the back bumper of that car. I'm wondering if he took 4 tires. I believe he did, yeah. So Justin Curtis has made his way up into that top 5, trying to hang on, but he's got 2 guys that are really fast behind him as well.
Everybody getting going, trying to get back up to the leaders here. You got the 29, just pops out a little high there, rolls it back to the inside. Craig Bontrager trying to get back to the back bumper of Justin Curtis.
It'll be interesting as the night goes on here because, like I said, they can go about 50 to 55 laps on a tank of fuel. And they will have about 55 laps when we do take the checker. It'll be interesting if anybody tries that pit strategy again. We've seen a couple guys get trapped a lap down by pitting early, so we'll have to wait and see how this all plays out as the race goes on here, as we are 46 laps into this thing.
Kind of shook up everything once the battles were fighting. We got Jamie Libke looking to the outside of the 4 machine. Chuck Phelps on the inside. Everybody's going 3 wide. We got a hornet's nest back here as the 4 is dropping back fast.
Yeah, I think he's a little nervous right there. Didn't want to be in that position. So you'll see that 4 machine just get out of the gas. Says, you know what? I don't want to run like this. I want to play it safe. And I think he did the smart thing, but he lost some positions by doing that.
Eldon Stewart dropping like a rock as we got wall contact further up. That's Jamie Libke, and that's the 50 as well making contact with the wall. 4 still dropping back. The 54 being held up. 55 Sean Warob trying to go around him.
Brock Price was stuck to the side of Eldon Stewart there as we're looking at another battle of 36. Down on the apron, goes up high, almost gets into the 71 there. Oh, man, close. George Jewell there and Daniel Parks battling out as they come down. We're looking at George Jewell in the cockpit now. Does get that pass made, but that was a close one. Was able to get around Daniel Parks.
That's one way to make a pass. Go down, makes the door contact with Daniel Parks, pushes him up, compromises the 71's line, position gain for the 36.
But you can tell these guys must be feeling like it's go time, and you can see the aggression level pick up a little bit as these guys are really starting to heat it up. And speaking of which, the heat up is for the battle for the lead. McWhorter down on the inside of his teammate Mark Whitley wants that lead back. Whitley had run out to almost a full second, and McWhorter and Cofield behind him were lagging back, but I think those tires of Whitley are starting to give up maybe a little bit more as McWhorter will get that position away from the 77 of Whitley.
Yeah, McWhorter pushes out to the point. Whitley trying to see if he can make a counterclaim here. I think he might have burned out his. I think he might be right. I think he might have burned out his tires there.
We'll see, but he's going to have to deal with Cofield that's coming up right now. So Cofield is starting to close into this picture. as I do see Whitley, it looks like he's struggling with that car a little bit. Maybe got those tires hot, battling with his teammate there. We'll see as he drops down to the inside. Maybe there you can see that gap open up a little bit. See his teammate slip away just there on the corner exit.
Yeah, McWhorter opening up a little bit of a gap now to the 77. 77 trying to figure out what he needs to do to get this run going so he can get back up to him.
Meanwhile, I bet Cofield, sitting back there in that third position, is hoping that those guys will continue to run each other hard. And Cofield was pretty methodic during that first run, that first stint, saving his tires, able to take the lead about halfway through that run and open up that lead on both Whitley and McWhorter.
Yep, this three-car breakaway has taken shape once again. Jonathan Cofield sitting in the back, watching the 77 try and formulate how he's going to get back up to the 72, or the 53 might just try and make a move on the 77 because it looks like Whitley's starting to drop back a little bit.
Well, what I did notice about Cofield on the last stint too is he did use that outside lane, but he's going to prove me wrong as he drops down to the inside. Doesn't quite have it there as the 77 will drop down in front of him, as I was about to say, as he used that outside groove to get around McWhorter on the first stint, and so I was kind of expecting him to do that here, and he did it here in turn 1 and 2, so we'll see what he does. He's going to take the bottom.
Yep, 53 cashes in a little bit of that momentum, makes the 77 pick the other lane. 77 going to have the run on exit here, watching 53 tuck back in. Everybody's back to square one.
And I think that's probably what Whitley noticed on that previous run, that he was strong on the outside there and defending that outside line so he can't get the run on the outside. And that's where all the momentum is at, especially when you're trying to pass these guys as they go through the tri-oval.
Yep, they're both starting to catch the 72 once again. Whitley maybe seeing something he liked running the top in 1 and 2. He's going to take that middle line, going to have another exit back out onto the backstretch, and he is closing on the back end of McWhorter.
Yeah, it's all about that momentum on the outside lane, and now he's going to be 3 and 4. Well, he does. He will have the momentum on exit here. You can see that car getting a little loose there, but able to hang on to it nicely. Gets that momentum and drive back up on the teammate there. And Cofield just has nowhere to go. He's stuck to that low line with Whitley up there high. And that low line, he needs a little bit more grip to get by, but there's just no momentum down there to get it done.
Cofield is pushing more aggressive than McWhorter is on the bottom. Whitley taking the momentum on the top. Both of these guys are catching the 72 rapidly. We saw some slight wall contact from the entrance to turn 1 for Whitley there as he rotates back down to the bottom.
37 to go, and these top 3 are really duking it out. Justin Curtis just behind this group. He's got his own little battle back there with Bontrager. As we watch the battle for the lead here, looked like Whitley was going to look at the outside of his teammate there, McWhorter, but looks like it was just a different line shift, just defending that top line there. Cofield, I almost feel like Cofield might be acting like he wants to pass, but maybe just still saving tires.
Yep, 77 might get a good run here in a few laps on the 72 as we're going to pass the we're going to head to lap 65 or 66 here across the line going into 1. Whitley's still taking that top line with Cofield looking to the bottom.
Yeah, and it's still not happening. That outside lane does have the momentum. The one thing that Cofield's got to be concerned about is if Whitley does start backing up, and he doesn't want to lose contact with the 72 of McWhorter. So I imagine if the 77 starts backing up a little bit further, Cofield's going to say it's go time and do his best to get around that car.
Yep, Cofield watching these two trying to figure out what's best for his run as he continues to run that low line. Whitley sacrificing the position for that momentum on exit as these two start to fall a little bit behind the 72 now.
Yeah, it does look like the 71 or 77 is starting to struggle a little bit there. Cofield took another look down there on the inside, but not doing there. And you can see Whitley still has control of that outside, but I do see some pain and suffering coming out of that 77, and I'm sure Cofield sees it too. And he's just looking for that opportunity. Now he's going to defend on the inside. Whitley's going to go to the bottom. Seeing that look, he knows Cofield wants it now. He sees that weakness. There is blood in the water right now.
Yep, 77 looks like he might have burned his stuff up too little too late here. 53 looks to the inside, 77 holding it to the middle.
Yeah, and you can see the 77 trying to pinch Cofield down low so he doesn't have momentum on exit, and it worked so far. As they go through the tri-oval, Cofield will have to make another attempt as they go into 3 and 4, but that 77 doing everything he can to maintain that position. Now they're side by side going into 1 and 2, but 77 is still going to have that. Oh, he gets a little sideways there. 77 desperately trying to hang on to that position.
This is a beautiful sight for Joseph McWhorter. The 77 was right on his back bumper a few laps ago. He has extended this lead to about 0.6 of a second as Cofield looks to the inside once again.
And this is what I was talking about as they head through the tri-oval. Cofield down on the inside wants this position. He sees that leader starting to slip away, and he wants to make quick work of that 77, but that 77 is fighting hard, going down low. The 77 does have a little bit of an advantage, but Cofield is there now. They're going to side by side down the backstretch. Can he get it done going into 3 and 4?
Cofield taking the middle on the backstretch, dives it down to the bottom, running the line once again. 77 gets a huge run, takes it top to middle, trying to keep that momentum on exit as these two are still side by side going through the quad oval.
Somehow the 77 was able to hang out, and Cofield will tuck in behind, will go drop down to the bottom, see if he's got any advantage down here, but that high line that 77's been running is just too strong on the outside. 77 gets a little loose again. So on the exit of 2, the 77 is really struggling with the rear end of that car currently.
Yep, he is pushing as hard as he can to try and keep this 53 pinned down below him. Get that gap higher and higher between him and McWhorter. Whitley making contact on the wall exit of turn 4. Jonathan Cofield keeping it side by side.
They're going into 1, still side by side, and it looks like the 53's got a little bit more of an advantage. It's going to be hard for that 77 to hang on. 77's been getting loose on the exit and can't quite get there. It looks like almost Cofield can creep in front of him. Not quite cleared as they go into 3.
Entry of turn 3 is probably going to do it unless Whitley has a move to pull back to the inside. Tries to rotate it back down. He's pushing too hard on the exit as the 53 takes the second spot and is going to look for that 72.
Yeah, now that he's got the 77 cleared, if he can get through this next corner cleanly, he's going to set his sights on the leader. He's still taking that low line, and I think that's where he feels that he can manage the tires a little bit better as he's set his sights now on Joseph McWhorter. And just like the previous stint, he has got 28 laps to run him down.
Yep, looks like the 53 is starting to step it back up to the 72 a little bit. McWhorter was able to save his stuff while these two are fighting, and Cofield is going to try and track him down.
And we are under caution, so we did have an incident on the racetrack here. We're going to go back and see exactly what happened. It looks like... yeah, Barrett Morton. There's an incident with Barrett Morton, and I see Kevin Price. There's been a few cars involved in an incident. The four in trouble there. You can see it catwalking down there. Eldon Stewart catwalking this Mountain Dew machine
that
down.
Is violent.
You can see. Oh, that's where nothing is working anymore.
We're gonna go on board. We see Eldon Stewart make contact with the outside wall, come down to the 22. We're gonna go from the beginning here. Eldon Stewart, we're into the quad oval here. Outside of the 22 is Skylar Daly. Daly gets into the grass and pushes up. The 4 makes contact with the outside wall. Contact with the 9, and it all just starts to snowball. From there, Kevin Price. Oh, the 4 was on his lid.
Wow, what a change of events. So there. I imagine we'll see everybody on pit lane as we're watching still some of this action that happened on here. We're riding along with Kevin Price here, entering the corner. You can see this accident unfold ahead of him here. Just nowhere to go, right into the back of the 4. And yeah, just tough break for all those guys.
He tried to hold the brakes, but it wasn't enough. Taking a look from the POV of Barrett Morton here as we're on board with him. Goes to the apron, thinks he's got through it, and just gets tagged back up into the 22.
Barrett Morton was the guy that we talked about early in this race, was one of our hard chargers, made a pit stop early, and things have kind of unraveled for him as the night has progressed ever since that pit stop. Anyway, we have the entire field headed to pit lane to get 4 tires. Probably no fuel, I would imagine, but they want to get some fresh Goodyears on this thing so they can make it a shootout. But you know what they say, sometimes cautions breed cautions.
Yep, get that fresh rubber on there, get back out on track, and let's get this one done. Watching the 72 and 53 making the pit stops here. Let's 72's up on the jacks first. We'll see who has the better exit on pit road as we get into the nitty-gritty on this one.
Well, that's some awesome camera work we got there from Dougie Beard. As you see, McWhorter will beat everybody off pit lane and will take us to the green flag when we do finally see that here in a couple laps.
It's showing McWhorter Whitley. It looked like Cofield had Whitley beat on the exit of pit road there. No, the 77 of Whitley's going to hold it. It looks like the 77 of Whitley's going to hold it for now. Nope, he's giving the position back. I was confused.
I get confused all the time. Don't worry about it. I spend my life confused there, Jacob, so don't worry about it. Anyway, we're going to line up. It looks like we got McWhorter, Cofield, Whitley, Curtis, and Craig Bontrager will round out your top 5 when we return racing here in just a couple laps.
Yes, sir. And while we look at, there's a few cars waiting to take the wave around on this one. Let's get one of our sponsors in. The series sponsor, Invets. Founded by veterans for veterans, they aid in transition into civilian life, focusing on job placement and finding the right community for veterans and their families to ensure their success and happiness. They are a veteran nonprofit in the state of Indiana with the goal of bringing veterans to that state to live and work. They are the title sponsor of the Sunday Truck Series and a major sponsor of GLR as a whole. Invets, building strong futures for Indiana veterans.
And while we're talking about some of our other sponsors, why don't we talk about Lincoln Tech? Lincoln Tech's mission is to provide superior education and training to our students for an in-demand careers in a supporting, accessible learning environment, transforming students' lives and adding value to their communities. They're one of the largest automotive technology schools in the nation with 23 campuses. They're the title sponsor to many of our series, and we're glad to have them here at Goat Locker Racing.
They are the overall sponsor for the fall series, and they're the title sponsor for the IndyCar series. It runs on Tuesdays.
Well, Jacob, it's about to get real here. We've got McWhorter, Cofield, Whitley, the guys that were battling up top all night long. They're on fresh. The one thing I'll say is Cofield's now going to have to get his short-range racing skills in order. I think he was doing a good job of saving tires, but I think we're about ready to throw that all out the window. He's going to have to race hard if he wants to win this thing.
Yeah, he's going to push it to the outside. He's going to make McWhorter fight to keep that P1 position, and Whitley's waiting in the wings just to get back to him. Pace car is in. Everybody is lined up 2 by 2, and we are getting ready to go back green right about now as McWhorter puts the pedal to the metal, gets a good start on Cofield this time.
Yeah, he was able to drag his teammate Whitley right along with him. Cofield moves back to third. Cofield under threat now. Bontrager looking at the inside. Bontrager has been running up in the top 5. We got a wreck behind the 04 car. Sideways, Wesley Burke. We will be under caution. Yeah, there we go. There's about 10 cars involved in this.
Oh, Lord. Massive contact for a lot of the field here. We're still piling in. Oh, no! Chuck Felds. Contact from the 9 of Barrett Morton there is weird. Man, there's a whole lot of torn up race cars.
Yeah, we'll go back and look at it. What I seen Wesley Burke, somewhere he was at the beginning of this. I don't know what caused all of it, but Wesley Burke we're looking at right now. We'll go back and look at the replay and see what happened.
Oh. So we get through 1 and 2 all right. It looks like here as Wesley Burke goes to the inside of the 09 machine. That is Stephen Davis. Davis gets loose on exit, comes down into Burke, and it all just starts piling in from there. Massive, a lot of brake failures, that one. Daniel Parks, Logan Sturgeon getting involved straight away. As we see Jamie Libke try and duck down to the bottom. Jamie Libke and Deering got through scot-free at 55, Sean Warob. I think that might be everybody from like 9th on back in that one.
Going to be a lot of quick repairs used all at once. So if these guys haven't used their quick repairs, we've had a pretty clean race. As we're another angle at this, just total carnage back there. It looks like a bunch of Hot Wheels going around. I haven't seen this much carnage in a while.
Running along with the Barrett Morton machine, we see somebody reacting early, getting down to the bottom. Everybody backing it down. making sure that they're able to get through this cleanly. Like, you see people navigating a minefield here. He just does not see the 75 sitting in front. The camouflage was too good.
Yeah. Barrett Morton, like I said, after that pit stop, has had nothing but trouble come out and find him. So that's going to lead McWhorter still out in the lead. We'll have about a lot of those damaged cars head to pit lane. None of our leaders, I imagine, will be taking pit lane. They didn't even get a full lap in when that incident transpired. So when we take the green flag, we'll have about 19 to go. It's still anybody's race, at least with the top 10, but anything can happen here at Charlotte as we're looking at pit lane. A lot of these cars taking their quick repairs or getting the fenders beat out on those cars.
Yep, everybody getting squared away, getting back to some level of status quo to try and get back in this race.
Well, this ought to be interesting now. Bontrager up to third. So Bontrager has been running, started in third, now back in third. Bontrager's probably pretty hungry. He hasn't won yet this season, but he's doing what it takes to show that he is of race-winning caliber. So he'd like to take Mark Whitley and McWhorter. Those guys are known for winning races and maybe sneak a win out for himself.
See, who I think was probably the biggest beneficiary of this caution right here, look who's in P5. Jonathan Cofield started second on that restart. He got loose out of turn 2, and he was dropping like a rock. There was people passing him left and right, trying to get positions to get up to the front, too. Once that caution came out, it stopped him from losing any more spots.
Yeah, that's a good point. The way NASCAR works is once the caution, it freezes the field immediately when that flag comes out. So NASCAR goes back and looks at where everybody was. And yeah, you could be going backwards in a hurry, but once you get that position locked in, you're kind of safe. So yeah, you're right. Good call there, Jacob.
It gives them a chance to regroup, gives these guys a chance to get back into the mindset of try and get back up here and focus on a good finish.
Well, speaking of regrouping, Joseph McWhorter will start on the outside this time. Mark Whitley down on the inside. Bontrager down on the inside, starting in third. Justin Curtis starting in fourth. Jonathan Cofield, who we just mentioned, will restart in fifth. Duncan Fall, let's not forget about him. He's running currently back there in that sixth position.
Yep, Jamie Lipke, Kyle Deering, George Jewell being good beneficiaries of that caution that came out, and Wesley Burke having been involved rolls off in 10th. Pace cars' lights are off, and they're going to start rolling down the pit lane here shortly as we are doubled up once again at Charlotte. Everybody wanting to get going, itching, fighting, scraping. Green flag is back out at Charlotte as we see both the outside and inside lanes get good starts.
Yeah, Justin Curtis got in the back of McWhorter there on that start. I think he tried to time that start, didn't quite make it, gets in the back. But now we got a battle for that lead. Whitley down on the inside of McWhorter trying to go as they go down the backstretch. That outside lane has been strong, though. We'll see what happens as they go into 3 and 4 side by side. And the guys behind them have got to be licking their chops watching those two leaders do it side by side. 77 a little bit sideways. Hard to get together. They somehow hang on to it as they go through the tri-oval. And he'll fall in behind his teammate of McWhorter.
That slowed them both up. I don't think there was any damage to come from that one, but that's brought Craig Bontrager right back to the 77.
Bontrager now taking a peek at the 77. 77 has just been, I don't know, I want to say unstable all night a little bit, just driving that car super hard. Bontrager now on the inside as we're riding on board with him. Down on the inside as they go through 3 and 4. That outside lane has got the, we're under caution. And Bontrager will get that position.
Bontrager going to restart P2 as we take a look at Jamie Limke and Kyle Deering. I shouldn't have said anything after that caution as Chuck Phelps comes through, barely not making contact with the inside wall. As he has found himself come to a stop once again. No! Why? What is going on tonight?
We'll go back and take, yeah, hard hit. Yeah, just nowhere to go.
Couldn't get underneath it as they were coming back down the track, and it just collapsed in from there. Yep, Kyle Deering looking like he's he lost it coming out of turn 2, but he saved it. Gets back up in front of the 51 of Wyatt Dooling here. Dooling to the inside.
Net code. That was, definitely some net code there. So kind of one of those deals. If somebody didn't maybe have a solid connection right there where those guys were running side by side, and Limke, she bore the brunt of that. As you see these cars get collected here, we're riding on board with her right now. The 04 just ahead of her. And you can see that orange car down there. That's the one that got sideways and was slowing up. And just as they go into the corner, and you see the net code. They don't actually touch, but the two inside cars just had net code just clutched up Jamie.
I think it's the 43 of Brock Price as well. Just unfortunate contact throughout that whole scenario just then.
Well, we are about to do this again. McWhorter will still lead us to the green flag, but now he's got a new contender, Craig Bontrager, who's had a solid night all night in that 49, in that teal, blue, and red machine just behind him in that Camaro, and then he's got Whitley now behind him. So it'll be curious to what lane now that McWhorter takes. I imagine he'll take the inside because that'll put his teammate, the 77, behind him. So I imagine we'll see McWhorter start on the inside when we do take the green flag.
Yeah, wanting McWhorter wanting to push from Whitley to get him up into the corner. But with how close these two have been racing, I don't think I would want the 77 behind me if he's got an opportunity to push me up and out of my line.
Well, especially these guys race, even though they're teammates. One thing I noticed about those two guys is they do race each other fairly hard. And you've seen it that last cycle. Those guys were into each other. They're on the tri-oval. They managed to save it. I thought they were going to take each other out, but they saved it. And that was from Whitley pushing really hard on the corner exit there, getting into the rear quarter panel of McWhorter. And I thought it was all over. And Bontrager was about to inherit the lead.
Yeah, both of those two probably developing the elite class of the field to this point in the season. On many series, on many accounts. Jonathan Cofield, another one. Craig Bontrager, we've seen him up in the front in anything he runs. Judson Curtis, a name we don't talk about often, but that's only because I only really see him on Sundays. He's made a name for himself in this particular car, in this series, and he is putting on a show here tonight as he's going to roll off fifth.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting as we're getting to the closing laps of this race. We'll have 14 to go when they take the green flag, and Whitley will start on the inside with his teammate of Whitley behind him, who will start off in third. Bontrager will be there on the outside. We'll see what these guys can do. Bontrager's going to be hungry. Whitley hasn't won a race in this series yet this season. His teammate down below has won 2 races. Cofield's won 2 races. So Bontrager's hungry. Judson Curtis is going to be hungry. We'll see how this thing's going to shake out.
Everybody chomping at the bit to get this one started. We're gonna have when we take the stripe, we're gonna have 13 laps to go as we are going back green flag racing here at Charlotte.
And the flag is out. McWhorter gets the jump, got his teammate right behind him. Bontrager spins the tires a little bit. That allows Justin Curtis down on his inside, so Bontrager under threat of losing that third position. Justin Curtis down on the inside. Looks like he'll have that 49 clear as they exit, maybe 49 coming back hard on the outside. We'll have some momentum, so Bontrager back fighting out hard on the outside.
43 goes around further back, makes heavy contact with the inside wall. It looks like we're going to stay green for the time being because he is able to get it back going. Craig Bontrager fighting back to the outside of Jonathan Cofield.
Yeah, Bontrager on the outside as they go through the tri-oval, cross the start-finish line, going into turn 1. Bontrager has a little bit of advantage. That outside line is shown here, and he's got a little bit of a tow with the 77 just ahead of him. We'll see if Bontrager can clear it. No, he's going to get into the wall. Bontrager gets into the wall. It's going to allow Justin Curtis to get a run on the inside as they go into 3.
Jonathan Cofield keeps it to the inside of Bontrager. 77 running a lane, a half to a full lane higher than the 72 of McWhorter as the 77's trying to get back to that back bumper.
Now we're back on Cofield here. Cofield does get that position cleared on Bontrager, so Bontrager is clear and now setting his sight on the 2 leaders of 77 who were watching, and then Joseph McWhorter out up front.
Joseph McWhorter keeping his cool, calm, collected, still running his line as much as he can as we're watching a lot of wheel getting put into this 77 car. Almost all the way down to the bottom off of the top, trying to get as much momentum as he can through the quad oval, maxing out the limiter as he enters into turn 1.
And I've seen this from Whitley. His driving style is just so much more aggressive than his teammate. Look, you can see counter steering there. Car gets loose on the exit of 2. It's been that way all night. He's just driving that car so hard. But, you know, he's got to be worried because he's got Cofield behind. He knows that Cofield is super fast, especially on the long run. But Cofield's going to have to get it done here in about 10 laps.
If they got one car lap traffic coming into play now, Joseph McWhorter going to be coming into the back end of the 43 of Brock Price. 77 taking the low line, not taking the high line because the lap car is there. Has to make a little more of a shallow exit. We'll see if this affects Cofield on his run here coming forward.
Yeah, as we watch Cofield go to the inside, taking Bontrager right along with them. 43 kindly gets out of the way and lets these guys race, but Cofield is back to the back bumper as well as Bontrager being to the back bumper of Cofield. So these three guys, the battle for second is really hot right now.
9 laps to go at the stripe. McWhorter still jumped out to a 0.3 of a second lead. Mark Whitley just having to make the split-second decision of whether he's going to go for McWhorter or defend the second position from Cofield.
Yeah, choices and choices. And I can tell you, McWhorter wants those three guys back there battling, so he can run away with it. But it looks like they're all single file right now, trying to feel each other out. They've just got a few laps to go, so maybe trying to keep those tires as cool as possible to make a run here within the last 5 laps as we watch Cofield close in a little bit more on the back of that 77 of Mark Whitley.
Yep, 77 taking a little bit of a higher line through the corner that time. Cofield starting to pull it back up to the back bumper of Mark Whitley as he looks to the bottom, blocked through the middle of the corner. 77 focusing more on the 53.
Cofield again will take another look as they go into 1 and 2 here. They'll cross the start-finish line going into 1, and we'll see if he takes another look. We know these guys like running 2 different lines when they're racing each other, and that's the line I was expecting. 77 defending on the outside, gets a little bit more momentum there on the outside, but Cofield is running stronger. Almost was able to stay alongside. We'll see what happens going into 3.
53 making the 77 run defensive is going to work in Joseph McWhorter's favor. We are going to roll around to the back to the quad oval as Mark Whitley has Jonathan Cofield to his inside. He's going to have to take that high line now.
Yeah, Cofield wants this position. We've seen him probably save tires on the last few stints, kind of methodically working by that 77, but this time he does it in a hurry because he doesn't want McWhorter to get away. As we're in the closing laps of this race, at the line, we'll have 5 to go, and you can see Cofield is starting to run down the leader of McWhorter, so he made short work of that 77.
Yep, 77 got loose on exit of turn 2, giving Cofield the green light to get going. Cofield is pedal to the metal, trying to get back to the 72, 5 laps to go.
And we'll see these guys probably hook up pretty much bumper to bumper by the time they get into 3, but right now they're going into the backstretch. Cofield trying to run down McWhorter. Right now the 77 falling clutches maybe to Bontrager. We'll have to wait and see, but we're watching the battle for the lead as they go into 3, and it looks like he might be just sitting back there waiting a couple laps, cooling his tires back down, maybe make an attempt to go with 2 to go.
53 within a car length of the 72 machine. Jonathan Cofield and Joseph McWhorter, this is the battle for the lead in the points right now.
And you can see how close these guys are running. Cofield almost gets into the back of McWhorter. Look to the outside. There's a little bit more momentum there. Does get a bit of a run. I don't know if it's enough. They're going to go into 3, and it looks like he'll stay and back off. And I think that's precisely what he's doing, just saving a little bit for the last couple of laps.
McWhorter backs Cofield off a little bit. Cofield trying to take another run up to the top as we go through the quad oval. Makes it to the back bumper of the 72. Tries to look to the outside. McWhorter going to have the position to the inside. As 53 of Jonathan Cofield takes it to the top, we might see a position change on the backstretch.
Yeah, and I imagine the crossover will happen right now. He hits the wall right there. Cofield will dive down to the inside as they head down into 3. So Cofield going for the lead right now. Does have a little bit of momentum as they enter 3. Can McWhorter hold him off there on the outside? Cofield super strong right now on the inside lane.
Side by side, exit to turn 4, 72 on top of the 53. Cross the line, 2 laps to go here at Charlotte.
And we are still side by side. 72 of McWhorter trying to hang on to the position. He does lose it here. We'll see if he does the crossover going down to the backstretch.
77 makes heavy contact with the wall. That might open up the 3rd spot for Craig Bontrager, but Jonathan Cofield opens it up to a car length over the 72 of Joseph McWhorter.
Cofield runs solid all night long, kind of methodically took care of his tires, ran our leaders down each and every time we had a stint. Right now, currently leading this thing, takes the white flag. One last lap to go, and it looks like this is in Cofield's hands right now unless something strange happens.
White flag, next flag ends the race. Joseph McWhorter takes a higher line, trying to get some momentum into the backstretch, trying to get to the back of Cofield. It looks like Cofield's going to take that lower line. No, he goes middle. Tries to keep as much momentum in it as he can. Joseph McWhorter not going to have enough exiting turn 4 as Jonathan Cofield wins race number 3 at Charlotte.
What a race. Congratulations to Cofield. Bontrager couldn't quite get that pass done on Mark Whitley, so McWhorter will finish second, Whitley third, and Bontrager fourth. But heck of a run for those guys.
What a stellar finish with that last caution giving us just over 10 laps to go. We did see a shootout here under the lights.
So Cofield's third win of the season. So he's showing that he's showing the McWhorter and Whitley team that he's got speed out there as well. So I imagine we'll see him come down to the start-finish line and really light it up. Cofield won, as I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, both California and Darlington, and now he's got his third win here at Charlotte Motor Speedway as we watch him celebrate down there on Victory Lane.
And he certainly put it all and earned this one. We're going to go to commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to have our unofficial results as well as interviews from the top 3 finishers. We will be right back.
Superior quality, ultimate protection, and the highest level of craftsmanship. We make our gloves for the hard worker that wakes up every morning and gives 110%. You deserve the highest quality protective gear that's going to work for you, day in, day out. We know it can be tough deciding what companies to trust for your hard-earned money. It's all in our name. We've mastered our craft to help you master yours. We make our gloves rugged, durable, and designed for you. Whatever the job is, we have you covered. We are your glove station.
A thriving job market and low cost of living, plus a wide range of veteran benefits, make Indiana the perfect place for veterans of the United States military to call home. Invets can help you find that home. We're an organization started by veterans to help former service members transition to civilian life in our state. Invets can help you find the community with the career opportunities, housing, schools, and amenities that fit your lifestyle. To learn more about Invets, visit us at invets.org today.
We're back live at Charlotte Motor Speedway with your unofficial results. Jonathan Cofield comes away with the win tonight with Joseph McWhorter trying to hang on, but he hangs on to second. Mark Whitley will finish in third. Craig Bontrager will finish fourth. Judson Curtis with the strong night finishes fifth. Stephen Davis sixth. Wesley Birkin seventh. Logan Sturgis finishes eighth. Duncan Faw ninth. And Kyle Deering is in your top 10.
Sean Warrup in 11th. Gary Wright finishes 12th. Wyatt Dooling in 13th. Daniel Parks 14th. Barrett Morton finishes 15th. Frederick Seagraves Jr. in 16th. Devontae Drain brings it home 17th. Dave Calbert in 18th. Scotty Yancey in 19th. And Jamie Lipke finishing in 20th.
Dakota Cole will finish in 21st. Brock Price will finish in 22nd. Claire Sisk grabs the 23rd position. George Jewell will finish in 24th. Colton Sisk will finish 25th. Skylar Daly 26th. Brandon Wallace will finish in the 27th position. Chuck Phelps will finish in 28th. Tyler Rice, 29th. Chad Ashley 30th.
Eldon Stewart, P31, Kevin Price, 32nd, Nick Hagan, 33rd, Jeremy Gardner, 34th, Darren Price, 35th, Aaron Yancey, 36th, Casey Jones, 37th, and Samuel Yosef finishing P38. Well, after a wonderful race here at Charlotte, we had the privilege of talking with our race winner, Jonathan Cofield. This is Jake Lanky in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, buddy.
We saw you anywhere from P5 on a restart, leading the race, fighting for the lead. It was another awesome performance here tonight. How did you think tonight was going to turn out from the get go?
I love this racetrack. Kind of know how to get around it. Them guys up front, they're fast in anything they race, but trying to just save the tires. Think I saved a little bit more than him in the first run. Was able to get by him, but I couldn't really pull on him. On new tires, I had nothing for him. It was like glass on new tires, and I just couldn't get it to grip up. I needed at least 5 laps to get the tires warm. I thought we was going to get a lot of cautions there, and it was going to mess me up. Tried to run the top that one restart, but lost 3 positions on the restart. It was pretty slick up there too, and tried not to crash it. About wiped it out.
Yep, you gathered it all back and were able to get through that 10-lap shootout to the finish. Did you think that you had it for McWhorter toward the end there?
I didn't, be honest with you. Like I said, he's pretty quick, and he's been quick all night. Whitley, he really surprised me. I think he was running in the back there for a while and come up to the front. I was like, where'd he come from? He pulled on us pretty far on that second run after that pit stop. But yeah, good run overall. Good clean racing up there. Just trying to figure out how to get around them. The bottom was the way to be, but you could get a run off the top and try to make a run. But then when the tires rolled, the top was so dominant. I know I wrestled with the 77 there for laps on end, trying to get past him for second, but the top just gets the advantage on the old tires. But luckily it all played out.
Yep, got you up front, stayed up front. Who do you have to thank for putting you on the top step of the podium?
Of course, all you guys for doing the broadcast. Hope it was a good race. Not too many cautions, so it's a great job by everybody in this league. Um, Invets, there it is. Invets for sponsoring our Xfinity season. Lincoln Tech, Save 22, Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs. As always, Cofield Supply and Service, Cofield Asphalt Refinishing, and all my teammates at Bandits Motorsports.
Yes, sir. Another lights out performance for the Bamboo Bullet. Thank you for your time. We'll see you at Dover.
Thank you, guys.
All right, that was our race winner. Well, why don't we bring up our second place finisher, Joseph McWhorter? Ken Huber in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah.
Hey, well, you sound a little disappointed already. You led, it seemed, most of the race. You led 58 laps tonight, so you were the lap leader, but looks like you just came up a little bit short tonight. How'd your race go tonight?
Good race. I just the car was really tight all night, and I was trying to back up my corners and just save tire and kind of run it the way that I have a lot in the past that normally works. But I don't know. It just seemed like Cofield could drive in so much deeper than me. I was talking to him, prior to coming in here with you guys, and like I was telling him, like I'd be lifting at like the Coca Cola symbol, like coming into turn 1 and 2 or 1 and 3, and I wouldn't see flames out the side of his car until darn near the center of the corner. And it was just I don't know if it was just iRacing being iRacing, but I I just if I tried to run in as deep as him, I was just getting tight. I don't know if he just found something that I didn't or what, but um, man, that's 2 and 1, and that's 2 Charlotte races in 2 weeks on V Speed that slipped through my fingers. So a little bit disappointed.
Well, sometimes that happens. If you win every week, I guess it wouldn't be called racing. But you put on a heck of you put on a heck of a show tonight. Yeah, I didn't see you scraping the wall. We've seen your teammate up against the wall a couple of times tonight. You and Cofield did look like the two strongest cars out there tonight. So congratulations on that. Next week we head to Kansas, I believe it is. And how do you feel about going there?
Yeah, Kansas is gonna be interesting. I just worked with my learning drivers, the guys that I have that I've been teaching over in Saturday night racing that you guys can catch on V Speed on Saturday nights. But they just ran Kansas there, and it was bottom dominant all night. So it's going to be interesting. I haven't been to Kansas in a long time where it was bottom dominant. Normally it's top. So I think that's going to throw a wrench into how everybody races the racetrack. It also depends on what the temperature was going to be like because it seemed like the setup for the guys on Saturday night and the Challenger Series were real loose. So that could come into play. So I'm feeling confident going into it. I'm excited to get into Kansas, but at the same time, it's going to be a little bit of a learning curve because the track is not racing the normal way it does.
Well, I'm definitely going to be excited to watch that one then because I do know how that track used to race. But anyway, who do you have to thank to get you on that second place tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to thank Outlier Speedco. They make amazing setups. They're a partner of not only me, but also with you guys, V Speed. So go check out outlierspeedco.com or go check out the link in the description below on the video and go get some setups. We got some really fast stuff. We've been winning like crazy lately. Johnny and the boys have been building some amazing race cars. So go check them out at outlierspeedco.com. Uh, Want to also thank Red Camera Racing, awesome partner of mine. Anything that you need for a real life race weekend, fire suit, shoes, helmets, anything you can think of that you need, they've got it at redcamelracing.com. 29 Graphics, go check them out on Trading Paints, 29 Graphics. You guys for putting on the broadcast. Love V Speed every week. All the admins, all the drivers for a really good, clean race tonight. All of our partners here at Goat Locker. I've lost the sponsor read. There it is. It's not loading, but that's okay. Jam Printing and Promotions, V Speed, and Alexander PCs. Thank you. Big shout out to everybody that does everything there. And looking forward to Kansas next week.
All right, I meant to say it's 2 weeks from now. We're actually off next week, so it'll be 2 weeks from now, same
Oh, we're
time,
off
same
next
place.
week?
So yeah, we're off next week. So,
Oh,
but
okay.
we'll talk about that here shortly. But thanks for hanging out with us, and good luck to you in 2 weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
Yep.
And last but not least, somebody that we're used to talking to, but probably not this late in the interview cycle, Mark Whitley. This is Jake in the booth. You got a copy?
I gotcha.
You showed some speed all night, but we saw you get a lot loose out of either turn 2, turn 4, scraping the wall. Were you just pushing a little too hard trying to stay up with these guys?
Yeah, I don't know. It was weird. I usually like how this place runs, like how this car runs here, and it's just something about it all night. It just felt really tight to me, and I couldn't never really get the handle on it. I had to push harder than I wanted to be able to really stay with them. And then that last run there, I don't know, just never felt right the whole run. I was pushing really hard and just killed the tires and didn't have anything for them. So I just didn't feel comfortable really the whole race. And uh, it's kind of a shame because this is one of the tracks I usually have a pretty good handle on. So I guess I learned how to race one track and I kind of forget how to do another one, I guess.
Yep, you kept it up there, got some good pit stops in, finished with a solid P3 after some good laps led. Who do you have to thank for putting you on the podium?
Yeah, first and foremost, Brantley over at Harpoon. He's spotting all night, does all my paint jobs. If you need a awesome paint job made, just check him out at harpoondesign.com. Got a form you can fill out. My other sponsor, Jawa.gg, they're the number one online gaming marketplace for gamers by gamers. They have the best marketplace out there. If you're looking for an upgrade or if you're looking for a whole brand new PC, check them out. All the guys, everybody that tunes into these broadcast races, you putting on the broadcast, Vector over in Harpoon, all them guys, Glove Station, iRacing, MK Fire Design, Sim Motion, all the ones that put on this league and make it go around. Appreciate being a part of it, and hopefully we can get off this snags. I feel like we've just haven't had the speed in the Xfinity car I normally have, and it's getting a little frustrating, honestly.
Yes, sir. Another solid finish for the 77 tonight. Thank you for your time. We'll see you, Kansas.
Later, guys.
Well, that was our top 3 drivers, Jake, and it was a blast calling this race with you as usual. Green flag runs almost throughout, only 4 cautions tonight. In 2 weeks, we're going to be at Kansas. I want to give a shout out to our our event coming this Wednesday, our fundraising event. You know, reach out to Jamie Barkus if you want to compete. You have a chance to win prizes. We're giving away lots of stuff, lots of prizes. You can donate to this or you can actually race in it. It's going to be broadcast here during our off weeks on Wednesday night. I believe the qualifying races are on Monday and Tuesday. So I think that starts tomorrow night. But you have 3 days to donate. If you go into Discord and you go to the announcements page, you can see Patrick Dravick does have the announcement out there with a link for where you can donate. And if you actually want to race in the fundraiser, make sure you reach out to Jamie Barkus and let him know, hey, I want to compete. Anyway, that's all I got for tonight. So I'm Ken Huber.
I'm Jacob Blanky.
And Eddie Smith has been in the production booth, and we had Dougie Beard on cameras tonight. In 2 weeks, we'll see you again at Kansas. Looking forward to it. Good night, everyone.